we're going to learn to play an excerpt of a violin piece by the violinist Niccolò Paganini. Niccolò Paganini was born in 1782 and died in 1840. He is considered to be the greatest violinist of all time, arguably. Now, when his 24 Caprices for solo violin were published, he was living in Italy, and European violinists that saw this music immediately pronounced it unplayable. It wasn't till he arrived in Europe and gave a set of recitals where he demonstrated that, yes, they were playable, and he was able to play them masterfully. He astonished audiences. They went wild for his music. And he and the pianist Franz Liszt ushered in this great new era of the virtuoso giving the solo recital. And this was in the 1830s, 1840s. Now, Paganini also played the guitar. And there are stories about people who've heard him play violin as well as guitar and couldn't figure out which one he was more of a virtuoso at. Fortunately for us guitarists, the music that he wrote for guitar is quite playable. He wrote a number of two-movement sonatas and a set of pieces called Garibizzo, which are, I guess, sudden flashes of inspiration. And they are quite playable, perhaps intermediate level and beyond. Now, we're going to take an excerpt from a violin showpiece of his called Moto Perpetuo, perpetual motion. Once you start, I should say, you don't stop. And this piece in its entirety, with a violinist going at breakneck speed, is about 3 or 4 minutes long. Now, our goals are a little less lofty. We're going to take a little chunk of this, and we're going to just use it to have some fun playing our scales. Now, when I look through the repertoire and the exercises that have been developed through time for just playing scales, no bass notes, nothing else, most of the time they're scale studies. And it's just suggested just play your major scales and add in some minor scales, etc. Now, we've already done that. So I wanted to find something that was just scalar and something that we could just enjoy playing. And I think you will. This piece is in the key of C major, and it alternates between that first scale pattern that we learned in Volume 1 and some movements to the fourth position as well.